This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief was supposed to be brought to you by your game. That's correct. But unfortunately, you didn't reach out to us, so we had no idea. But if you want to go ahead and have the next episode brought to you by your game, go ahead and make sure you reach out to us on the Facebooks over at Getting Geeky with Game Relief, or Facebook via Blvd, or go ahead and send us an email over at gamerelief@gamereliefgo.com and let us know, and we can go ahead and see what we can do to have you sponsor an episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief. Now, I apologize for the audio of this show, as some of it was cut short via the fact that our creator of this great game, his cell coverage, something was going on, so his phone kept dropping out. But don't let that make you not check out the great game that the Game Relief family loved. Definitely make sure you go check out his project. And now, on with the show, because the show must go on.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
In the pristine little neighborhood of Gnome Crossing, the competition for a highly coveted award of Yard of the Month is fierce. The residents will stop at nothing to win, including sabotaging their neighbors' yards. Some gnomes grace the gardens, while others bring disgrace and weeds. Who will be the first to successfully grow 10 flowers in their garden, and who will be the laughing stock of the neighborhood?
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but this is a story of Yard of the Month, Gnome Smashing Fun, a new game currently on Kickstarter, and tonight we're lucky enough to have on the creator and mastermind behind this great game, Shane. Is that correct, Shane? Is that how you fall in line with Yard of the Month?
Yes, and I'd have to say I'm the lucky one here getting to have this opportunity. So,
Oh boy, I don't know about that. Thank you, though. You're trying to flatter me. Hopefully it'll help. But awesome. So anyways, before we get into Yard of the Month, let's rewind a little bit if we could, Shane. We don't have to go back too far, of course, unless you were born into tabletop board gaming or card games. But how did you get started in playing board games and card games?
I don't know. I've always, just as far back as I can think, I've always loved board and card games. Maybe when I was like early teens, I played video games a lot, but my passion's always been board and card games. I mean, even now I own a whole bunch of video games, but I don't even play them. I'm like, hey, let's break out this game, or let's play Catan, let's play Magic the Gathering. You know, I'd rather do that over video games. So, and it's been like that forever. I just love the social atmosphere.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, not as much in the video games or whatnot. So yeah, besides Yard of the Month at the current time, because if I let you pick your own game as a favorite, my audience might have me drug out into the garden and pummel with the hammer or something. So besides that, do you have a current favorite game, Shane?
I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering lately, but it's not my favorite game. I hate the game. No, I don't really hate it. It's just really expensive. Betrayal at House on Haunted Hill. I've been playing that quite a bit. And recently I bought Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition with the accompanying app, or the app that comes with it. And that's been pretty fun to play if you have like 3 or 4 hours to spare.
Oh, cool. I want to say, I'm not sure. We have a bunch of games that we have not got to the table. I want to say at least one of those is in our list or whatnot, or on our shelves. It's hard to say though with how many games my wife and I collect or whatnot. So per se, pick one. Can you pick one of those? And per se, somebody else has maybe heard of it or seen it on the shelf but doesn't know about it. What can you tell us about one of those games?
I will tell you about Betrayal Betrayal. I'll just call it Betrayal. That is really cool because there's like with the expansion, there's like 100 scenarios that the game changes every time. Well, not every time. Sometimes you can get the same scenario as before, but it's really rare. And I love telling people who've never heard of the game. I ask them if they've ever seen the movie Cabin in the Woods by Joss Whedon, and that that movie and that game are so similar because there's this whole what's going to happen kind of uh, anything could happen type thing. I don't want to spoil the movie. All I got to say is that if somebody hasn't watched it, you need to watch that movie.
And is that on Netflix or Amazon Prime or anything? Do you know?
It's on Blu-ray in my Blu-ray drawer.
There you go. So everybody head over to Shane's house. And so go ahead and watch that. If you don't have it, Shane does, but I don't know that he wants you coming over necessarily.
We could play some games too. I could teach people how to play Art of the Month. That'll be cool.
Speaking of Yard of the Month, the word on the street is you have a new game on Kickstarter. What can you tell us about it, Shane?
It's a new game and it's on Kickstarter. No, no, it's a game that first came up with maybe about 6 years ago, and the game actually changed quite a bit throughout the years. Well, from the very first incarnation, it changed almost totally, and I worked on it, had a pretty good developed system and everything, but then took a break for probably about 4 years before I got back on the project, and started on it again, changed the rules a little bit, added some more cards, and now it's pretty cool. The object of the game is to get 10 flowers or grow 10 flowers in your garden, but it's not as easy as it would. You'd think, oh, I just grow 10 flowers. Okay, I'm done. No, you get to. There's things to help protect your garden, which is Nick the Gnome. And then there's things that hinder your garden, like weeds, Knack the Gnome, which makes it harder to grow the flowers. And you have things that help you out, like garden tools, which get rid of weeds that people put in your garden, stuff like that. My favorite thing is the hammers, which you use to smash either Nick or Knack and just kind of eliminate them from the game. So that's did I answer your question or did I drift too far away?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I know we've already played it as a family, but per se, somebody else listening hasn't played it or whatnot, or missed our review episode or whatnot. Per se, me and you were to sit down to play Yard of the Month. How would that look? Wait, how would it sound? I mean, this is a podcast after all.
Yeah. Well, each player, gosh, go to Kickstarter and read everything I wrote. No, I'm kidding.
There you go. I think everybody gets 7 cards to start off, if I recall correctly.
It's actually, that was one of the rules that was recently altered. It was for a 2-player game, it was 7 cards, and in some cases, it made games go way too quick. This game, it's just dependent on how many people you have playing. It could be a really quick game, or it could be a long game. That really depends on how you play. If you try to be all nice and, not vengeful to your neighbors, the game could probably last a while. But if you just get brutal and smash gnomes like crazy and throw weeds in people's gardens, and, then the game it doesn't last as long. Because some people try to be too friendly. Like, they're more concerned about making sure they do okay versus hurting other people. And kind of the thing is you want to sabotage your neighbor's gardens so they can't win.
And did the prototype that we got, was that similar to what people will get if they back the Kickstarter game as well?
Yes, but what I really want to recommend is there's 2 pledge levels. Well, there's a few of them, but there's 2 main pledge levels. There's the $18 one, which is the core set, which is going to be a lot like what you have. It's just the basic 108 cards with the 7 different types of cards that are in there. And it's simple, pull it out of the box, shuffle, deal everybody 5 cards, play, win, celebrate. But the $25 pledge level, that one I'm including all the stretch goals. So There will be up to 5 additional cards, like card types. And I'm estimating right now a total of about 140 cards in the deck altogether with the extra cards. They're kind of a secret right now, so I'm not going to reveal what cards they are until the stretch goals are met. The first stretch goal would be real easy if people want to help me out and like my Facebook page. I'm just trying to get 1,000 likes on there, and then once I do, I'm going to release that first like stretch goal card.
Where do we sit at currently? How many likes are there on Facebook now? Do you know?
If I had to guess, I'd say about 730. So, and I've been running ads and stuff and been getting on average about 5 to 10 likes a day. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but there's a lot of people that will see my ads and they'll like the ad, but they won't like the page. I'm like, come on, man, like my page.
That's a Brainbox gaming company page? Is that right?
Yes, facebook.com/Brainbox Gaming Company.
Yeah, it looks like 731 is what I'm reading.
I was just guessing.
There you go. So that's pretty good. Yeah. So I want to, get on it, people. Just go over there. You don't even necessarily, I would recommend it because we really liked it over here at the Game Relief family, but you don't even necessarily have to back the game if you maybe funds are low or something. Go ahead and go head on over to that Facebook page and give it a like so we can see what this next card that Shane's been holding out on us for.
And I will tell you another thing: the $25 pledge. It's gonna come in a cool little magnetic flip box. Originally that was gonna be a stretch goal, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say, hey, we're gonna do that for $2 and upgraded cards. But that particular box, $25 pledge, has a secret card in it.
Oh, on top of everything cool.
Yes. The core set, the $18 one, it's not going to have anything fancy. So that's why the $25 one I'm calling the fancy schmancy box. So it's going to have all this cool stuff. That's what I'm really encouraging people to do because I personally want that game in that box and everything. And so that's what I'm pushing to get out there. But yes, it has a secret card. And I'm trying to think.
So was there any kind of science behind pledge level without the stretch goals? You don't see that very often.
No, I didn't know what I was doing. I looked at a lot of Kickstarter campaigns and was trying to figure stuff out, and I was like, you know what? Most people don't have those two different options. I don't know why I offered that. I should have just went for broke. But if this Kickstarter campaign doesn't fund, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to go ahead and take out the little basic core set and just do the fancy schmancy and just go for the win. And I'm gonna do you a favor right now. I'm going to tell you what that secret card is.
Oh boy, yeah. So hopefully you're listening. What is that secret card?
Poop.
Poop. We'll have put poop in people's gardens. Cool, awesome. My little boy would love that.
Yeah, it's actually, I wasn't going to tell a lot of people about it, but there's been people that have been demoing the game and playing it with that card in it, and they love it. People love poop.
So how does that card play into it? Or can you tell us that?
It's just a lose a turn. Basically, when you draw the card, because you can draw cards and play them on other people, and the poop card, you draw it, you play it on somebody else, and they lose a turn. It's as simple as that. You're like pooping in somebody's yard. And then when it's supposed to be their turn, they have to shuffle the card back into the deck, and that's all they can do. They basically lost their turn. And what's great is, depending on how you play, what kind of player you are, you either shuffle the deck in the discards all together and shuffle the poop in there, or what a lot of people do, they just take the cards that are left and shuffle it into there. So as that deck gets lower and lower, poop starts showing up more. And so it gets a little chaotic, and people really loved it. So, and there's only one poop card in the entire deck of 108 cards.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So yeah, going back to how we play. So if I recall correctly, so you said it changed to five cards to start for the starting turn, or was it still 7?
5. I'm gonna say, start with however many cards you want, but generally 5 works best. It can, with a 2-player game, 5 cards, it can make your game last maybe about 10-15 minutes. If you have 7 cards, I mean, you could probably, it may only last 2 or 3 turns. So, and that was too easy. So we just kind of thought it over and we're like, let's just make it 5 cards for the starting hand for 2 players.
Cool. Yeah, we might have been playing it wrong. Me and my daughter, when we played either that, we were teasing that it was probably my shuffling or whatnot, but it seemed like there was a whole heck of a lot of gnomes on there, gnomes and weeds or whatnot. But yeah, it might have been my shuffling because yeah, it seemed like it dragged on forever at first, but it was a really fun game. We liked it.
I'm glad y'all like it. I just, it means a lot to me that people have really been liking the game. And I want more people to experience it. And, I wish everybody could actually play it before they decided to make a pledge or whatever. But, everything's coming out of pocket, like with anybody who does a Kickstarter, they do their prototypes and all that stuff. You know, you got to have funds to get the product out there and get people to do the reviews and check it out and all that. And, it costs money.
Yeah, for sure. So I know you're probably a little biased, and I know we're biased because we got to play it. We really liked it, and maybe they've heard our review, but they didn't get to see the cards. Is there any reviews out there by other people that may be able to showcase the game that they can go check out?
Yeah, on the Kickstarter page, I got a few previews on there and a couple photos and stuff like that. And I think I have 2, maybe 3 people that sent me videos of them playing or checking out the cards, and they're on the Kickstarter page. Plus, there's a video of me explaining the cards, and I would just skip that part. So.
Yeah, just skip that one if you want, or you can go ahead and watch it. The ones I like, I know I really like what the Unfiltered Gamer as well as Logan Chops does. And it looks like there's another one. Who's that? Jason from the Board Game Mechanics or something?
Yes, Logan, him and his wife played. I believe that's his wife. I hope it is. Otherwise,
Yeah, Gothy Loxay, I believe that's his wife, yes.
yeah, they played the game, and that was pretty cool. So, and that's their favorite game now too. No, I'm just kidding. Should be though.
There you go. Yeah, it's knocking out people's favorite games of all times, it sounds like.
Kids love the game, which is really cool because I market it for 8 and up. There's been 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds who've played the game, and it's so much fun. And this has been real surreal to me to be able to put out this game and get such positive feedback on it. I'm just like, wow. Not only do I get positive feedback, I get a lot of feedback about, hey, you should add this card. You should do this. You should add that. And I can't accommodate everybody, but, some people are going to get what they want.
But it looks like you tried to have this on Kickstarter quite some while back ago, back in 2013. Is that correct?
Yes, that was actually what's funny is the game has gone through, like I said, a couple incarnations, and I hope I use that word right. It's late. It's been a long day. But originally, what did I call it first? Oh, Gnome, You Didn't. That was the very first name of the game, and it had a lot of the similar cards, but instead of 7 different cards, I think it only had 6. And there was another game out there that the name was really similar to, so I changed the name to A Game of Gnomes, A Garden of Seeding, which I was like, okay, A Garden of Seeding, that'll be the first one. Then I'll come up with expansions, A Game of Gnomes this, A Game of Gnomes that. And the name just wasn't really doing it for me. And so the whole project got put on hold for a few years because I just got busy working and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'll get back to it later. Finally, I got back on it, and my wife had suggested the name Yard of the Month. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm going to take credit for that. So No, but yeah. So I'd put it on Kickstarter when I first had it, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was just excited. Hey, I made this game. I didn't know where I was going to get it printed. I didn't know how much everything was going to cost, any of that. And I basically I didn't do my research, and it didn't fund. So that's when I put it on hiatus for a while, brought it back. Now it's on Kickstarter again. And my fingers are crossed that it'll do well this time. And if not, then I'll just relaunch. I'll learn from my mistakes. And
Yeah, it looks like this time it looks like if I looked at it right. The last time there wasn't any previews on there. This time there are some reviews and stuff on there.
yes, I've gone to some like board game groups on Facebook and asked for advice, and a lot of people have given me stuff. And I did a little bit more research, looking at other Kickstarters, things like that. Um, I I I was waiting to get some quotes back from some printers, and some of them took longer than others. And so I found this one company that I could do an instant quote online. So I based my pricing off of that, like my goal. And I wish I would have got quotes from those other places sooner, because Kickstarter won't let you change your goal. And I wish I could have made it a lot lower. And you want to know another secret? I'll tell you another secret just for you and your listener.
Sure, what's that?
If I meet goal, I'm not worried about the stretch goals. I'm going to release all the cards anyway.
Cool. Yeah, yeah, because we were playing in it. It seems like it would be really fun with the more cards, I think.
Yes. I decided since the goal for the cost of printing and shipping and all that, I'm going to do well. I'm not expecting a big profit off this game, if any profit at all. I just want to get the game out there. And with the goal that I have set, I will have enough money to release the extra cards. So if I hit those stretch goals, awesome. If I don't, and the game gets funded anyway, or if the game gets funded, those cards are going to be there. So feel free to spread the tail. Say he's going to release extra cards anyway, but I'm not going to reveal those cards until funding. But then I'll put them on there. So I can't keep a secret, man.
Yeah, we've already got a couple more. We probably shouldn't talk too much longer, or they'll have everything down. They'll know everything about it. So yeah, other than that, so yeah, so it looks like pretty cool. So, but per se, Shane, we have a running joke on the podcast because it's neither been confirmed nor denied by any of my fans. So I don't know if it's true or not. But we tend to say that they've fallen asleep. It wouldn't be because of you or your great game. It'd be because of me and my podcast. At the end of May, when we're recording this episode, we've already, since the first of the year, let me look at this and see if I can find out. Since the first of the year, we've already released 84 episodes, and we're only at the end of May. So they get a little tired of hearing me ramble on and on. But now they're suddenly jolted awake so they don't hit the oncoming traffic. Why should they take a chance on Yard of the Month, especially with all the other great games that are currently out there on the Kickstarter, Shane?
Because it's a really fun game, and honestly, I'm going to say back everything you can. But I'm going to put out there, as far as my game goes, it's a quick, easy game. It's really easy to learn. It's fun whether you play with kids or with people your age, or even Grandma Judy. It's easy. It's not a complicated game to learn, and it is fun. I promise you, it is a fun game. You know this, Blake.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we really liked it. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It took forever to get us to the table, but once we got it there, it was pretty fun. Even Barbarian Leaf, who he used to not like games if he loses or whatnot. Came in like when we were getting close to being done, and he played a couple rounds with them and still lost, and he still thought it was a not too bad game. He liked it.
It's cool because I market it as family friendly, which it is family playable, but I can't promise that you'll be friendly playing this game.
There you go. Yeah.
And the game turns around. It's fun watching people play this game because you want to get to 10 flowers, or if you're playing with like 4 or more players, you could do 5 flowers to just kind of shorten the game time. But I've seen people like they'd have like 8 flowers and they're so close to winning the game, just maybe another turn or two, and then everything turns around and everyone will team up on them, and next thing you know, they're left with nothing but a garden full of weeds. And we're talking like in a couple turns, and it's great. It's just so mean, but fun.
Yeah, we thought we would we thought our first go round, or well, actually, the time we played it, we thought we would go for 5, just 5 flowers because we didn't have much time. But then ended up going for 10 because we were having a fun time.
I just can't express enough how fun it is just watching people play, and how it reminds me of Sorry. All of a sudden, I'm thinking of Sorry. How like you kind of screw over other players, so it's like that.
Yeah, for sure. I used to like that when I was a kid. And so a while back ago, I picked it up because I thought it would be fun to play with my kids. And then I was like, wow, really? I like this game. But yeah, but this is even more funner than Sorry, I think.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. There was something else I was going to throw out there too and tell you. Oh, I know. On a more personal, not as fun note, I just want to say that I know a lot of people are familiar with what happened in Santa Fe recently, Santa Fe, Texas. It's right down the street from my town. It's just a town over from me. And I've decided that a portion of the profits I make off this game, I'm going to donate to a charitable cause going towards like fundraisers for the victims and stuff like that, because that's just how I am.
Well, there you go. And are you on any other podcast talking about this?
I had to reschedule, so I will be on another podcast Monday.
Do you know when they're releasing that? Because for some reason, I like to say, you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief. Do you know when they might be releasing that?
I have no idea, but you should say you heard it here first anyway, because you did it first.
There you go. Yeah, you heard it here first about Yard of the Month and how he's going to be donating some of the proceeds to the victims there. And you said Santa Fe?
Yes, Santa Fe, Texas.
In Santa Fe, Texas and whatnot. And yeah, just how fun of a game it is. So in case like I said, sometimes they get tired because I keep on putting out way too many podcasts. Perhaps they want to hear you on a different podcast. What podcast is that, Shane?
I don't know.
But that reminds me, they can probably go to your Facebook page while they're giving it a like so we can find out what that first card's going to be. And they'll be able to get updates there, as well as if they are able to back this for just $1, if they don't have a bunch of money to throw at it, and they'll get an update on that other podcast, hopefully.
Yes, absolutely. I will, as a promise to you and the people that listen to your podcast, I will post something on Facebook talking about that other podcast and have some information as to where they can hear it.
Well, there you go. There you go. Cool. And yeah, I really like the hammer cards. So I was able to, I didn't think about it when we were first playing, but then after, at the near the end of the game, I was able to get rid of, I think this is possible how you played, or I don't know if we were playing right, but I was able to take out Princess Leaf's nicks that she had protecting her garden. Is that correct? You can use a hammer to take out anybody's gnomes?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like that because you can not only get rid of the knacks that people put on you, but you can get rid of their nicks.
Yes.
So I thought that was pretty good. So yeah, so we'll go ahead and jump over to the Yard of the Month and check it out on Kickstarter. We'll make sure we leave a link in the show notes, so if somebody's too tired to go ahead and type it in or whatnot, they can just click on that link and it'll take them directly there. And so, yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to listen to any of our podcasts or not. Either way, it's okay, Shane. But the next portion of the podcast is actually called Adventures in Application Acquisition, where we talk about an app, be it for your phone, a tablet, a computer, or even a video game. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be related to gardening or tabletop board gaming. It could be anything. Is there an app you use a lot of that we can talk about for a moment, Shane?
If you want to talk about like a game and apps, not only did somebody approach me about making an app for Start of the Month, another card game that I like to play on an app of is Exploding Kittens. I have that.
Well, that's cool. Before we get into that, what did you tell them about making a Yard of the Month app? Is that a possibility?
I really hope so. A guy I know approached me and he's like, "Hey, you want to make an app for this?" And I said, "Sure." And that's all I heard.
Oh boy! Well, I hope he's listening. And we'll go ahead and do that because I would love to be able to say there's an app for that because that'd be fun to sit down and play.
Absolutely.
As well, I like the card, but sometimes you can't necessarily always get people to the table or whatnot. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Tetris on my phone.
I'm trying to think what else. Solitaire. I have this cheap solitaire, like a free solitaire app on my phone, and my wife and my stepson have it too. And we have kind of a competition as to who can get the best score. And I'm in last place, so that's.
Oh boy, you got to pick it up a little bit. So, is that just called Solitaire, or what is it called exactly?
No, it's just Solitaire. It was one on the Google Play Store, and it wasn't anything fancy. Oh, another app, Words with Friends. I love Words with Friends.
Okay, let's go ahead and narrow it down a little bit. So, Words with Friends. I know it's been a while, but I remember people used to talk about it a long time ago. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast or not. Either way, let's go ahead and do that. Per se, somebody who's living under a rock or hasn't never heard of Words with Friends, what can you tell us about that app, Shane?
It's like Scrabble. It's a blatant ripoff of Scrabble, but they changed the words, like where the double letter, triple letter, and stuff like that are. Basically, just come up with some good high scoring words and humiliate your opponent. That's what I do anyway.
Well, there you go. So, if you own the rights to Words with Friends, Shane, what would be one thing you would do to make the app better or fix it?
Get rid of all the ads. They don't need them.
There you go. You're saying people don't want to go ahead and buy the next, to play the next game or whatnot? Yeah, so you heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief, what Shane would do to make Words with Friends better, get rid of the ads. So if anybody is ever listening that is in the production or the updating of that app, that's what Shane would do. So do they... the ads, do they make you watch ads to be able to play more, or how does that work?
It's like after every time you press play, like when you play a word, an ad will pop up, and it's usually a video. And what annoys me about that is I'll be listening to music on my phone, and it'll turn off my music to play the ad. I mean, ads ain't that bad, but if you're going to interrupt my music, I mean, come on, man.
Well, there you go. Now you know what to do with the, especially for the Yard of the Month app. You want to make sure people can listen to their own music or get your own soundtrack for it, I guess.
But with most apps, they have the free versions and then they have the paid versions without the ads. But I haven't seen. I mean, maybe I'm just ignorant, but I haven't seen a ability to pay for Words with Friends, not on Android anyway. I used to have it on iPhone like a long time ago. I'm an Android guy, and I bought the app, but unfortunately it didn't carry over to my Android, so now I have all the ads and stuff. But
well, there you go. Now we know what to do to fix it or whatnot. So if they're ever listening, because we try to make a green podcast around here. Now, we don't want to keep you all night. I know it's getting later there, Shane, but Mina's coming there it sounds like you're from Texas. Mina's coming there to stalk you in person or come to watch, I forget what movie it was, House in the woods or whatnot. Mine is coming there to your home to do that or stalk you in person. How would people go about following what you got going on with Yard of the Month and other games you might have coming up in the future?
Brainbox Gaming Company on Facebook. I also have a website, It's funny because I'm a graphic designer, but I'm not much of a web guy, so my website sucks. But yeah, on Facebook, uh, it's www.facebook.com/brainbox gaming company. I know it's a mouthful, but it's that's the best way. To keep up with what's going on with the art of the month. And like I said, as far as Brainbox Gaming Company goes, I want to do more games. That's why it's just not Yard of the Month by Shane Tuttle. It's by Brainbox Gaming Company. And look for more games coming soon. But I really want to see how this one goes.
For sure, for sure. And it looks like there is also a group on Facebook as well. What can you tell us about that? What's that all about?
It's Yard of the Month, the game, and basically everything I post on Brainbox, I post on there too. But it's related to Yard of the Month. People can go on there. They can talk about the game. They can, if someone doesn't really want to get involved with Kickstarter, but they'd still like to know what's going on, I post updates there as well. So as far as the game goes, and occasionally I'll talk about myself and how good my hair looks or stuff like. No, I don't do that.
Well, there you go. So if you're interested to find out how Shane's hair days are going, or especially about Yard of the Month that's currently on Kickstarter, make sure you go ahead and both like the Brainbox Gaming Company as well as join the Yard of the Month game group on Facebook. And most definitely go ahead and check out Yard of the Month that's currently on the Kickstarter. It looks like at this time it's going through the 15th of June. Go ahead and check it out and see what you can do to bring that home. Worst case scenario, if you don't have the $25 or even the $18, go ahead and throw a buck his way, and then you can get updates or whatnot, as well as try to help this game get to fruition.
Yes, that would be so amazing. And I would love everyone for it if this game gets published. And not only would you be helping me out, you'd be helping yourself out, and you would be contributing towards helping out the people in Santa Fe. And gosh, I am terrible at keeping secrets. I want to tell you one more thing.
Oh boy, you're about to spill another one. I knew I should have let you go when I had the opportunity.
The 1,000 likes on Facebook, that's going to be my first reveal card. Or, I could hit stretch goals before I got 1,000 likes, but the first card I want to offer as an extra in the game, as opposed to poop, is a double flower card. So like I said, you have to get 10 flowers in order to win the game. So there's going to be cards in there that instead of worth just one flower, they'll be worth 2 flowers. And that's my 1,000 Facebook like card. Facebook, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So.
Oh, well, there you go. You heard it here first on Getting Geeky with Game Relief.
Yes, Getting Geeky Game.
It's time for Kickstarter Corner. To begin now.
She's not wrong. It is time for Kickstarter Corner, and we've got some great games to bring you. First off, I wanted to go ahead and send you over. Well, no, I want to say watch out. We're going to be doing a survey, and I would like your participation in which you can tell us what we can do to get more geeky with Game Relief, what we can do to make the podcast better, what kind of experience you've had, all that kind of fun stuff. So make sure you watch our Facebook page and our email list for that. Anyways, let's get on with Kickstarter Corner, shall we? And also a reminder, if you are one of the winners of the games, or if you want to find out if you were the lucky winner, go back and listen to our episode that we released earlier today, the one where we interviewed the creator of MourneQuest, the board game, and the author of MourneQuest, the novels. Anyways, leading on with that, we've got MourneQuest. This is our Kickstarter Corner, by the way. We've got MourneQuest, which is a board game based on the Irish fantasy novels by Gary McElran. I hope I didn't slaughter that. But anyway, definitely check this one out. I had an interview on. If you haven't missed the last episode, make sure you go back and listen to that. You can find out all about this game from Backspindle Games, which has relaunched, and they're doing pretty good. Hopefully they'll make their goal and surpass it. They've only got a short time left. They go through the 7th of June, so definitely give that one a look on the Kickstarter. If you like a great game with great miniatures and fun story, this is the game for you. Definitely. 3 definitely's makes it right, doesn't it? And then next, if you don't like fantasy games, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but you're more of a monster card game person, check out Monster Card Blvd. It's a fun game. We had the creator on the show a while back ago, and it's, well, no, not yet. This Friday you'll be able to hear him. But it's a 2 to 4 player strategic card game featuring 90 silly, seductive, and scary monster cards. Easy to learn and hard to master. Not monster like I usually say. Anyways, they've reached their goal and they've got a long time to go. Going through the 17th of July. Definitely check this out. We're hoping the Leafs will be able to review this game for you, but definitely check it out. I would offer PG or parental guidance for people under 13, as some of the monsters might be a little seductive, but they are silly for sure. I love the name, so we'll just wait for that episode. And then we've got On Their Merry Way relaunch. It's a unique path-building board game starring the underdogs in the Tales of Robin Hood, the greedy merchants, and the merry men. This one's pretty fun from what it sounds like. Had the creator on a while back ago. You can go back and listen to that episode, and then go ahead and jump over and give this a back. They're getting closer to their goal, and they have through the 12th of June. They got some cool mechanics in this game. Then we've got The Pit, the board game. It's a 4-player co-op dungeon crawler, not set in a fantasy world as well, but in an epic sci-fi universe. Inspired by cult classic video games. Definitely check this one out. They're going through the 10th of June. It is fun from the way it sounds. Next, we've got Treasure Mountain, which combines worker placement and tile laying to create a unique experience where you can bump other workers off spaces and take actions. Definitely check this one out. They're going through the 1st of June. They're really close to their goal. Actually, they're 100% away from their goal because they're over 200% funded. Definitely check this one out. They're going through the 1st of June. For sure. And yeah, if you can only back it for $1 right now, but then like a month down the road you want to go ahead and re-up and get the whole game, you can do that. I was told by the creator. That's actually what we had to do because we had a little bit of a situation going on. Next, we've got Forgotten Fight, which is a deck building card game. You need to choose a team of 3 heroes to prove that you know the best combo. And definitely you want to check this one out. You get an update every day, somebody from the game, so you find out all about it. And then last but not least is SuperAge role-playing game. SuperAge is a tabletop role-playing game. Create any hero you can dream of at any power level, inspired by the apocalypse. Definitely check this one out. They're going through the 8th of June. It looks like a fun game. We had the creator on a while back ago, so definitely check it out. It is an awesome game from the sounds of it. And let's see here. Anything else we should tell you? I don't know what you want, but if you want to go ahead and tell us what we're doing good, what we can do better, and what you like in a podcast, go ahead and email us over at gamerleaf@gamerleafgo.com, or definitely go ahead and fill out our survey, which we'll be watching for on our Facebook page. Anyways, it's your least favorite time, our least favorite time. Time to go ahead and get on with your lives. So, in the meantime, until we see you next time, get geeky, stay geeky, and bring others in the geek fold. And we'll catch you all on the flip side. Gamer Leaf out.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.